Hi, I'm Denise with Lighten Up Amputee. I want to say that today is my last day of freedom before 5 days hooked up to an IV. The IV will be hooked up to me pretty much 24/7, 24 hours a day for 5 days straight in the hospital. And I will be getting chemotherapy. And the fact that therapy is attached to chemo kind of makes me laugh. It is therapy in the sense it's one of the tools that oncologists have to throw at people like myself with cancer. But there's a lot of different types of chemo. And one thing I learned once I was diagnosed with cancer 4 years ago is that all chemos are not the same. Some infusions are outpatient, like an hour a week, and those are honestly a walk in the park compared to the inpatient versions where you are hooked up to a 23 to 24 hour drip. You get unhooked maybe for an hour if you're lucky to take a shower, and then you're hooked back up, and it'll go into my port, which is right over here, and pretty much 23 hours a day be dripping chemotherapy into my system. The chemotherapy I'll be getting is called ifosfamate. And 4 years ago, I got ifosfamate and doxorubicin, and it's called the Red Devil, the doxorubicin, and it's called AIM. This time it's just the ifos. So should it be a walk in the park? No. These chemos are badass, and it comes with nausea and fatigue, and just really just goes after the whole immune system. And so the immune system has to step up. White blood count takes a dip, and that's where I ended up in trouble 4 years ago. After my first round of chemo, I ended up going neutropenic, which means your white blood count drops down to pretty much nil and makes you very susceptible to die from a simple bacteria or virus. So I was in the hospital for a week for that. So the chemotherapy, when I really look back, there were hard parts to it, like really hard parts that now going into it starting tomorrow, I'm wiser and I can prepare for those things. One of which was severe constipation, so I'm preparing for that and I'm a plant-based diet now, so I'm vegan, and that should help. And no matter whether I'm hungry or not, I'm going to be eating fruits and vegetables to keep my system hydrated. That's going to be key. Drinking lots of water. The reason why constipation is one of the biggest issues with chemotherapy is that it's not just the chemotherapy that's toxic to your system, and it does cause constipation. They also fill you with steroids, Benadryl, anti-nausea drugs, sometimes pain relief. All of those things are constipating. So you're just inundated. It's kind of like, when I say boot camp of chemotherapy, when you do inpatient, it really is like boot camp. It's, wow, it's like running a marathon, and you feel like it when you leave. So the biggest thing will be fatigue and nausea. And even with the anti-nausea, you still get nauseous. And I will be doing videos this time. Last time, I think I was just in shock 4 years ago, to be honest with you. And 4 years later, I'm like, okay, here it is. Here's my experience. I'm going to embrace where I'm at and embrace that chemotherapy is a drug right now that can hopefully help me and help kill or dial back the tumors that have been growing lately and buy me more time so that I can get into another research study. So I will document what that's like, whereas last time I did not. Ifosfamate will also make my hair fall out. It does not happen overnight. In fact, the first week while I'm in chemo, it shouldn't fall out at all. It's usually about a week to two after it just starts to come out in clumps. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm kind of enjoying having hair today, and I'm enjoying that I'm not hooked up to an IV roller, because when you're hooked up to an IV for 5 days, you literally go everywhere with that roller. You go to the bathroom, you go for a walk down the hall. There is a patio there. I'm hoping they allow us to sit outside. That fresh air is just unbelievable. So anyway, I am just enjoying today, and I'm going to head down to my prosthetic doctor and get my leg looked at to make sure that my prosthetic is just, calibrated correctly before I head into chemotherapy. And then I will keep you all posted on my chemo journey this week. So it's chemotherapy session number 1, 4 years later. And so it's kind of feel a little deja vu, but wow, do I feel like such a different person heading into it this time. So thanks for your well wishes and your prayers. I appreciate it. And I'll keep you all posted.